Interesting. And you guys went on shore leave a bunch of times? Sorry, because you already told me this, but I want to try and get video of it as well. So
What?
you went on shore leave with my grandpa
Yeah.
quite a few times?
Oh yeah, we used to go on Liberty together.
Great.
While he was the captain, while he was the division coxswain at that time. He was in charge of our second division of the ship.
Huh.
But this is amazing. Finally finding somebody like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're glad we came because, like I said, my Uncle Bob was like, I hope, somebody knows him. This phone just shut down because of dead battery, so I got this phone going. But he's like, I'd sure love to run into somebody that, knew my dad. And sure enough.
Yeah, we were good friends.
Yeah.
In fact, I think after we'd been back to the Midwest on our Liberty or leave, survivors leave, I think him and me caught the same damn train back to the West Coast.
Huh. Nice.
'Cause I was up in Minnesota and he was just...
Yeah. Is that where you're from then, is Minnesota?
At that time I was, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and now I live back within 5 miles of where I was born.
You're within 5 miles of where Eugene lived after he got out of the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's buried 3 miles from here.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that, did you?
Yeah, Lewis just told me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we just found out about this reunion. He called me, I think, Monday morning. I can move over. So yeah, we just found out about it, and it's like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
You're close by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually work right around here. I've actually worked in this building before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I worked me sandwiches for everybody.
Small world.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it.
Yep.
Papa said that made this trip worth it.
We don't eat much. We can't eat after that because they just said,
Well, I'm glad. Made it worth it for us too.
Yep.
he's got on the half on it. He's in a whole meal.
I'm surprised he hasn't started crying yet.
You must be in this picture.
Are you in this picture? Are you in this picture?
Yeah. Yep.
Where are you in that picture?
God, I can't see him. He can show you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
want to remember. And I keep this up on my mantle. Let's see. Let's see. See, that's my dad right there.
That's your dad?
Yeah.
That's my dad, right there. That's him, and that's your dad.
Point to your dad again, please.
We'll find some zip
Right there.
That's my dad, and there's Eugene.
Directly above him, 2 rows up.
Yep.
Yes.
Or 1 row up.
He's right in front of you.
Oh, wait.
He's the one knelt down in front of you.
In that picture.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And this is my grandpa right here. And his dad.
Now, did he ever come to any of the reunions?
He died in 1973.
Oh, okay.
He passed away in 1973.
Okay.
On the Facebook page, I posted a picture saying we were coming, I think Monday or
That's your grandpa?
yeah, Monday or Tuesday, and I posted a picture of his headstone and a picture of us wearing our hats.
Oh, wow.
That we got after his brother died.
I'm sure they'll put it in the next scuttlebutt.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a small world.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know where this is taken.
Take a picture of that. I know he doesn't want to let it out of his possession, but
We
take,
we have that.
Oh, okay.
My
That
dad
one's on
actually
the-
had one blown up.
take a picture of this for your dad.
the original.
My dad's got one blown up about this
Yeah,
wide.
I have a copy.
Of that.
Take a picture of this picture then, so you have that for him.
I don't know if I got room on it.
I have that original.
I am so glad we came to this.
Yeah, so that's cool.
He let me have it.
Here, let me try and hold it
That's
flat.
me.
That's cool.
Let me prop this up.
That is cool.
Audio at least.
Really cool.
I wonder wonder if this is taking a Pearl Harbor. I see palm trees in the background.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
that's
She was
73 years
You sit
ago.
right down here.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
division officer
See what we can do?
on the ship.
It's Pearl. There, I'll get my fingers out of the way.
I don't know if you can see it. I kind of blew it out. That's a picture of Eugene.
Oh,
that's gonna be tough.
I can see it pretty clearly.
You get a glare from the light.
It said it looks like there might be palm trees or something in the
It
background.
looks like palm trees in the background. Good try.
Don't you have a picture about like that with that kind of background?
thought he
too, don't
did.
you?
Let's see here. Looks like it's over.
No, he does.
Did your flash go off that time?
No, I didn't have it on.
Trying to get that
No, you
fold
put
out
it,
of it.
tell you what, lay it back down. That worked really well.
Yeah, with Papa.
Then I have that picture then.
That's his dad.
It's early.
The one when Papa jumped off the ship and landed on the
Let's try
guy.
this too.
That was the guy he landed on. Was his dad.
So,
Our dads-
can you do me a favor
our dads
and hold
The
that?
bail
Or
jumped
actually
off
one hand
together
hold the other
on the
two
Gambier
corners of
Bay.
this?
Except for he knew how to swim. He
Hold those
didn't.
right here.
And he was going to help him over to the raft. And I remember you telling the story once. You said by the time he got to the surface,
Scott might be in there.
he was looking for him. Couldn't find him because
The third one I
knocked
got.
him under the water.
No wonder nobody did anything.
And then he started hollering for him. And
Yeah, this one
he
turned
said,
out
"I'm
really
over
good.
here." And
Yeah.
he was hanging onto the life
Still got
raft.
a little glare.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then your
think we're
dad
gonna get
swam
rid of
over
it.
to it.
Okay.
Took him.
I'm going to try again if you
get
want to,
it.
though.
No,
And he said, "How'd you get
Yeah,
here?"
we're
He
good.
said,
I
"I
think
don't
I
know,
adjust
but I'm
that
not
up pretty
letting
good.
go."
Okay.
thanks for letting me take one.
No, no problem at all. We're just glad that we came and we heard the stories, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. So are you staying here, or
We live here.
oh, you live here?
Yeah, actually, Eugene here lived 3 to 5 miles directly that way from here. He's buried probably less than 2 miles directly that way.
Oh wow!
Right near the airport.
Yeah, and that's where he grew up. Is right up here, 3 miles from here.
Oh wow!
And I live about 12 miles that way, and he lives in Tacoma now. So we're from here.
Close.
And he just called me Monday. We didn't know nothing about this. He called me Monday. My mom had called him and told him about it. I'm like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we are. I had to work today. We said we'd meet here at 4. I walked in here at 10 after 4, and he was already here. What
Yeah,
time did you
because
get?
I've never met anyone off that ship. My dad really never talked about it, you know. And like I was saying to him, that was the second ship he went. That got
Yeah.
sunk.
My grandpa
He
was
was
on
in the
2
water.
boats that got sunk. The Gambier Bay was the second one.
Goodness.
Yeah, what luck.
Different ship that was.
He was on the USS San Francisco in the Battle of Guadalcanal. That was also sunk. And he was in the water longer that time,
Sunk,
right?
But they abandoned ship because it was getting blasted so much.
Right.
And he was in the water longer that time, right?
I think 3 days or something.
In the water twice.
That was a horrendous
For
time.
days.
Yeah.
Going in the second
Yeah.
time going.
Yeah,
"Oh,
and
Not again.
I've been
turned
through
around
this.
when
It sounded like he was in good humor about it, though, huh? Sounded like he was in good humor.
You're in good
kind
humor.
of sacrificial.
Yeah.
Slow it down so the
He might
Americans
have
could
also
get
thought,
through.
"I lived through
And I
it
saw a
once,
caption
I
of it
can
and
do
showed,
this
and it
again."
showed
Yeah,
the diagram
I've been there.
going through. And,
Well, and like we found out here, he couldn't swim.
That ship
My
in that
grandpa,
battle,
they jumped off together,
the
and
whole ship was
he landed on top of my grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they couldn't swim.
only ship to be
can't.
put in
Still
the history of the Navy.
Yeah.
Did it go down at
We did get him at the kitty side of
Yeah, I don't think it. I heard it didn't sink, but no, it was at night when it got blasted. Yeah.
Trying to prop this
He'd go,
up.
he'd go in.
Yeah, so the Gambier Bay, he must have been thinking, "Oh, not again," you know.
Yeah.
Keep your finger on this so it stays up. I want to record. I'm more recording the audio than anything, but I need to step out for a minute.
Oh.
And that'll be recorded.
Yeah, I know that's why I'm doing it.
You wanted him to hold his phone because he's recording this.
No.
He said he mainly wanted it for the audio, but he had to step out, and I said, and that'll be on the recording.
Oh, you must like that stuff, Bob. I gotta get hooked on it. He wanted to know if I had any bud in there, and I think I only bought a six-pack.
Stella Artois.
So when your dad was sank in Guadalcanal, was that there was multiple days in a row where they were battling. All the ships were battling.
I haven't read the battle that much, but
Alaskan Amber or a good Irish stout.
I just heard little bits and pieces of it.
Yep.
Then I was working in Korea. I worked there for like 4 years. And AFKN was the only TV station, Armed Forces Network. And they'd have little captions, instead of commercials, little captions of battles, Civil War, World War II and stuff. And they had that. They had the diagrams of it and talked about it for about 2 minutes. And sitting there at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not used to the flight time. I think I just got over there.
Yeah.
And 3 o'clock in the morning in my motel, drinking a beer, and all of a sudden, Sam's like, "Well, my dad is on that." Nobody's there. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
Almost empty. Yeah. Start spitting.
Yeah, that was.
You know, and then
It was blasted hard because went through a fleet of ships
Yeah.
trying to slow them down, and they just blew the hell out of it.
I know we lost a lot, they lost a lot.
Yeah.
But in the end, they finally retreated.
So my dad is his older brother. We're only 8 years apart, so both of us are kind of like didn't get a lot of the stories.
Yeah, and he was pretty sick. He was in VA hospital 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Off and on.
Off and on, yeah. He was in the hospital more than he was out there for the last 3 or 4 years of his life. He had emphysema really bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys were pretty young then.
Yeah. He was born in 55. I was born in 63.
54.
54. All right, we're 9 years apart.
But he waited. He got
I would have
to
thought that 55 would have been a compliment.
right.
But he was up on Beacon Hill.
Yeah, at the VA hospital. It's about 10 miles north of here.
I've been there. I've taken people there
Yeah.
many times. What I like going there is when you go from Boeing, they would take us, and then you have to make this sharp right turn, and there's a outside produce stand there.
Yeah.
We'd hit it every time.
That's something good.
We're flying
I go there.
back empty
Yeah.
in a Learjet. So I'd fill a grocery cart full of fresh produce, thinking that it's going to cost me $100, $150 for all this, and they're going, okay, it'll be $28, and I'm like,
Oh, you were taking it back to Alaska.
taking it home, yeah.
Yeah, I go to
It
that
was
produce.
fresh.
That's produce stands there
The
still.
stuff before it's ripe, they start shipping it to Alaska.
I go there all the
So it
time
can ripen after.
because
it
I go to
gets
the
there.
VA for work as well.
It
The
costs a
VA
whole lot
hospital
more,
there.
but it doesn't have that fine ripened type of.
Yeah.
The stuff there is ripe. It's ready.
Right.
So it's the best produce.
Yeah.
And every time we'd go to the VA hospital, the guys in the ambulance taking us back and say, "You guys need to stop anywhere for food?" Yeah.
Oh,
stop
I've
at
always
that
said that.
produce stand. Okay.
Yeah. That's been there for years. For a long, long time. I still go there.
Love going there.
It's right by the VA hospital. The south entrance to the VA hospital. It's like a block away from the light to turn into the VA hospital. They got everything, anything, everything.
Oh yeah. Exotic
Exotic stuff,
produce,
yeah.
too. Stuff you don't see in
Yeah.
grocery stores
Right.
even.
Well, we got a better access now with world trade to food items that we didn't used to have back in the 70s and 60s and stuff. Because I remember my mom never cooked with kiwi fruit or anything like that, you know?
You do something?
Yeah.
Just don't go, oh.
ABC gum.
Yeah, even been walked on too.
I remember when I used to be able to see the bottom of my shoe
Without taking it off.
without taking it off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know that?
The grandkids will be able to. Really? It's only take pictures of motorcycles and cars.
What kind of motorcycle you got? What kind of motorcycle you got?
None now. Actually, just got rid of mine this last spring.
What did you have?
It was a Honda 450.
Nice.
Motocross like.
Motocross.
I used to love riding dirt
Motor
bikes.
crash. Motocross.
Can't handle it no more.
Yeah.
I got big feet, and those little foot pegs on those things suck.
He broke both his legs.
That's
Just
no
above
fun.
the ankles.
Ouch. I wear size 17 shoes, so
It's hard to find boots for those.
find boots for those, and those little foot pegs are only, it's like, that only goes like a third of the way across the bottom of my foot.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to like to get air and do all that, but
Find something.
can't do that no more.
Yeah, it's something to.
You're really gonna drink mango? That doesn't sound like you.
It sounds tropical. They were in the tropics. This one's not shook up.
My favorite one.
He got the shook up stuff.
Yeah.
That looked like something on.
Oh yeah, I should have shook this.
That
up.
looked like something on Punk'd. Can you open this for me?
Right.
Sparkling mango.
Hey, smile at him.
There you go. I'm now almost completely dry. But I was quite
No, he's gonna send you pictures.
I hope so.
What's that?
He said he's gonna send you pictures, right?
I'll get some for you.
Or we can get it on Facebook, or
I'll probably put them all on the Gambier Bay website.
okay. I got that. It's usgambierbay.org.
No, I don't know if I'll go on the Facebook. Probably Facebook.
Well, I'm gonna be going to both of them.
Okay. So yeah, you'll see them around.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just copy that stuff.
Yeah, you can just copy it off the Facebook page. Yeah. Just like
I'm not a computer.
all those pictures that she showed you on her iPad,
Yeah.
we can copy them. We can print them so you can frame them if you want and hang them on the wall at the cabin. He's got a cabin up on Hudson Canal. We need to do that more.
Yeah.
He's up there all the time, but I don't come up there as much as I should. But he's got a pool table, and we'll sit there and
Well, that's roughing it, man.
play
Well,
pool
yeah.
all night.
There you
It's a
go.
cabin. You gotta have a billiard room in a cabin, you know.
He's a pool shark. I'm pretty good, and he's even better.
That was the pool shark.
Oh,
My goodness.
well,
And I
we have
inherited that.
we have more things in common.
In the VFW, he was always the favored to win the tournaments they had.
My dad
And the
and I
thing
got-
was, he'd get a little nervous, so they'd start taking a pitcher of beer and go, here, why'd he drink?
Aiming
The
fluid.
more he drank, the better he got.
Aiming
And I
fluid.
used to
And
play
he'd run the
darts
table.
on VFW start
If he had the break,
That's what I've always called it for pools, aiming fluid.
My dad and I got to.
His dad was really good too.
My dad and I got to shoot a game of pool at Sunnydale Tavern,
We should go there when we go look at.
holding himself up with the table.
and he passed away when I was
Holding
18.
himself up. But he couldn't
And
stand
I didn't need phony
it. He'd
ID.
just start calling him.
He had a beard,
No, the,
long hair, 70s. What was it? 70? Yeah, 72 when that happened, right?
and the neighbor lady, Mrs. Frank, her son and Tony went to school. Your
It
dad.
was like,
And she was a bartender, and she knew.
I gotta have a beer or two. But
She, they're playing
he's sitting
pool.
there, we'd be looking at
Having
him
a beer together.
We'd see him do this number.
It was pretty nice, Mrs. Frank.
Yeah.
We lived right down 10th Avenue, about 5 houses.
You can't even see straight.
Well, actually,
it's
the
like
one
as
in
soon
the
as
family
you
that was
get
the
down there, it
most
was like laser focus on the ones he was hitting.
accurate
And they,
pool player was his
he actually
dad,
eliminated the
my grandpa.
Yeah.
And he was a World War I vet.
he ran the entire
Veteran from World War I
I never got there.
Europe. But him
The second, it was the final
he played with Boots.
He won the
Boots
coin toss,
Major
so he got
That was
the
his name.
and he just
They were both World
ran
War I vets
them
at that VFW club, and they meet in the morning, and they would start playing pool together. And they would make up rules like
That's very rare.
you had to go off 2 banks before it hit the ball you were going to sink, and you had to call it which pocket where. I mean, they would
We do the same thing. We play bank
sit
eight.
there watching them play. It was like I was
Dumbfounding.
just a kid then, and watching my grandpa play. It was like, wow. I'm looking, and he'd call it, and I'd go, he's aiming there, but he's gonna sink that. I go, oh. But then he'd have to get around the ball, so he'd put English on it, and he knew just how much English. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Blink, boom.
Nice.
Boots would go, oh, that was pretty good.
My grandfather on my mother's
If
side.
he missed, then Boots would go, okay, now.
My grandfather on my mother's side was a War I vet. He was 56 years old when my mom was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was born in 1888. Wow.
Yeah, well,
And his wife was
Grandpa was born in
28, I think, when she was born. So he was like twice her age.
96, I think it was.
I used to play a lot of billiards, 2 or 3 cushion billiards
Oh, yeah.
growing up. Yeah. Yeah, a few of the Lewis boys. Your dad was a pretty good shot.
My dad was a good shot too. Bill played pretty good pool too. Not compared to us, but
Good baseball players. Though.
Yeah.
We're all baseball players. Growing up. Football too. But baseball was our game.
yep.
How many is it per ticket?
It's 6 tickets for $5.
He's giving Tom a
And they
hard
got
time.
split the pot tickets.
Giving Tom a hard time about something.
Yeah, he was pulling my wrist.
Oh.
There I go again.
We can't see it. Oh, it's a little halibut, eh? Little halibut.
Just for the hell of it, huh?
I mean, it wasn't like
Just for the halibut. That's what I was
168
thinking.
pounder.
I knew that's what he would hear. It's just for the halibut.
You never heard that before?
No, that's what I was thinking, and Grandpa said it.
You hungry for food?
Oh, you guys are from Alaska. You get pretty good halibuts out there.
12:30. At 12:30.
Whenever I catch them, they're out of season.
Right now it's
We went fishing a couple years ago up at Nia Bay,
6 o'clock.
and we didn't check the game laws before, and we were sure that salmon was closed.
I know.
He caught like a 25-pound king salmon. And he's like, we should keep it. I'm like, no, you get caught, they're going to take your boat, they're going to take our poles, everything. He's like, all right. So we relented and we turned it loose. Turns out it was open and we could have kept the thing.
Yeah, I wish you would bring up stories like that.
I did take a picture of it though.
My dad, a neighbor of ours about his age, staying in Project, they'd go up to Nia Bay because he was medically retired in the last 15 years or so.
Nia Bay, that's on the very northwest point of Washington, on that spur on the very tip, Right
yeah,
on the
right
ocean.
where the Pacific meets Strait of Juan de Fuca, and they'd go up there for a month at a time and go fishing, and
And drinking.
they'd set up a Coleman tent, and they'd go up there and they'd drink and they'd catch fish, and they could catch as many salmon. They could catch as many salmon as they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
But they could only keep 3 a day, and they'd have to sell the rest to the canneries up there. So they'd go up there and make a bunch of money, you know, and they'd go up there and drink. The first day, they buy their boat launch, and they get bait, and they get the moorage for their boat because they're going to keep it there for a month. And at night, the people at the marina, they don't see the boat back. And the next morning and through the night, that boat's not back, and they think he's sunk. They sunk.
Yeah.
And so they call the Coast Guard, and they call the families. And my brother and Stan Prozek's son, they drive up to Nia Bay to look for him, and the Coast Guard's looking for him and everything. And they get up there in the morning, and the boat's not back yet. You know, they were thinking they sunk. And finally, one of them says, "Well, did we check the campsite?" They went to the campsite. They never launched the boat. They decided to get drunk, and they're passed out in the tent. And the Coast Guard was out looking for them. Yeah, Dad loved those beers.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have got any of it if she messed up.
Yeah, if she
you
wouldn't
know?
have messed up, that's why. I mean, I felt bad for her. She was back
Right?
yapping, you know. And our brew fest that we do every year, fundraiser thing. So
This your
we have all these different breweries from around town that come in. So everybody's hammered.
Yep.
So and she was
Hold it in.
I thought I was splitting like $100. I was like, no big deal. It's still $300 I did down before, and then I spent it on the live
Brain
auction.
pull in your pocket.
There you
Just
go.
can't get it out.
The point of being there was fundraising.
So yeah, they're gonna do those at the memorial service, right?
What?
No, the dinner
Or
tomorrow
like
night.
they're doing them at the
We're
banquet.
doing it at the
Banquet.
It says
Then
remember
there was
bring
another
or
lady
buy
selling
around.
the raffle tickets
She's not
for
here.
the cab.
This same lady. She's not here. She went to dinner.
What is that, like a?
Y'all got that?
I took a picture of that thing too. I took a picture of that itinerary.
So is Lucas gonna go with us?
No.
You work Saturday and Sunday?
He said he was gonna.
Yeah, Thursday, Fridays are my day off.
You should put that picture back in a heavy book. This one.
Yeah.
And then put a bunch of other books on top of it so there's like 10 pounds on it. And leave it in there for a couple months, it'll flatten it back out.
Yeah, this just got down.
You shouldn't touch the face of it either. That's a valuable picture for us. You and us, you know.
Tim did this.
What?
Tim did this.
Nice.
Do you need help, Bob?
Where did he get it?
Do you need help?
Oh, he made the frame, you mean?
Bathroom.
It's,
He's been to the bathroom a few times.
She said
this?
It looks like it. I think it is.
Yeah, and I don't know where the original is. But they have
Did you
this
tell Tim
way-
about this?
Huh?
Did you tell Tim about this? I didn't eat lunch today, so these pretzels are having to do.
No.
Would you guys have small?
He's busy young man.
I know.
Did you get anything for Kaylee?
His son's an MMA fighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who?
He's not in UFC yet, but he's pro. His name's Timothy Lewis. He's been in Taekwondo since he was 4 years old.
But that's kind of his relaxation. He has his master's in psychology, clinical psychology, and he works for a company. And he goes to the area hospitals and counsels for DSHS, drug mothers and stuff. So he's a drug counselor.
And then in his spare time, he kicks people's
likes to
asses.
Fight people, beat them up. We joke with him. After he beats somebody up, he counsels them why they needed to get beat up.
There you go.
He's pretty badass. He's fun to watch fight, that's for sure.
It's hard for him to get a fight anymore. People won't fight him.
But we watch UFC and stuff. He's a real
I'm a big UFC
fan
fan
of that.
too.
And then he went to school with Sam Hoger, who's the Alaskan assassin on the first year of the Ultimate Fighter, first season. He was on that. He went to high school. They went to high school. They used to fight for fun.
Yeah, I used to fight for fun too.
And I remember on one of your birthdays when Sam was up here, when they had already taped the series, but he couldn't tell what happened at all.
Sworn to silence, yeah.
And he says, this is my buddy Louie. He said, we used to fight together when we were all going in high school, we'd fight together, and he used to beat me up all the time. And he says, the key word, used to.
You ever heard of Greg the Mutt Haugen back in the 80s? He was the UFC lightweight champion of the world for a while.
Nope.
Fought Greg Haugen. He was from Auburn, Washington. He fought Vinny Pazienza and Ray Boom Boom Mancini, and he had the belt 2 times or 3 times. He grew up in my high school and went to school. He's a couple years older than me, but we both boxed out of the Auburn Elks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's transitioning. He teaches that now, but he's really serious about getting into acting.
Oh, nice.
He's been doing a little bit of. He was in that latest Jurassic Park movie.
Oh, cool.
Just a real small part in it.
All right.
He got in it.
Step in the door.
Go eat.
In the Screen Actors Guild.
Gotta keep things under
His buddy
control,
used to fight UFC.
Good. You?
You get a picture of that old part over there?
Yeah. Yeah. Now we got a video of you.
Yes, sir.
My dad was on it.
What was his name? What did he do?
Eugene Lewis. He's a coxswain on the. He was with him.
Second division? Wood? I was in the second division for a while.
That's him.
When I woke up again,
That's him. That's my dad.
I've been in 3 of these pictures and I can't find. I might be in this one.
it wasn't I was drunk or anything.
I'm going to go eat. I want to look at that.
I'm gonna.